So the first test is the checklist test, and this is the most simplistic. And what happens is usually when the plan is finished, its first draft, copies will go out to the department heads and go to management, and they'll go through it and try to eyeball and figure out if the team actually missed things. So they'll make comments, and all the comments will go back to the team will go back to the plan and update it as necessary. Then there's a structured walkthrough test, which means that the department heads and management people actually come together and they have a meeting and they actually walk through scenarios and see if the plan actually matches and takes care of the threats and the risks that all of these different people can think of or come up with. And there could be more of the brainstorming and walking through a scenario and actually having different perspectives. Simulation test means that now your employees are actually involved and they're actually going to walk through the processes. So they need to understand what the procedures are, where the procedures are, what their responsibilities are. Maybe it's emergency response for people, maybe it's moving servers to an off-site facility, maybe it's getting certain network components up and running. But simulation just means now people are actually walking through the recovery steps. Parallel test really is a simulation test that takes one step further. It's simulation in that the people are walking through the steps, but you actually move some devices or processing over to the alternative off-site facility. So if it's a warm site that you guys are using, then you take some systems over there and see if processing can happen. If you have a redundant site, you'll restore your data and start processing. And the goal is to make sure that move can happen successfully. And there's all these stories of all the things that have gone wrong. And one time, thank goodness, it was during a parallel test. The team was supposed to go to an alternate site and get it all set up. They couldn't find it. They got lost. They didn't know the directions or where the facility actually was. So that's a good thing to figure out so that you know the actual directions of how to get there. Now, the other type of test is a full interruption test, which means all processing is taking place at the alternate facility, whether it be your redundant site, your hot site, whatever. So your whole production shuts down and it starts running somewhere else. And so what do you think? You develop the plan, you just start right off with the full interruption test? Hopefully not. Hopefully you see as you go through these different types of tests, basically the checklist is people make sure that you're not missing anything. Simulation, people are actually walking through things. Full interruption tests, a lot of companies don't do because it interrupts processing and it's dangerous. If you don't have everything done correctly, you're actually in danger from testing it. Now, some companies that have to be up and running continuously, like a lot of the large telco companies, will actually do a full interruption test every quarter. So they definitely have things on the ball.